Today I'm going to make a white bean, pork, potato, and smoked sausage casserole. It seems like it's going to be pretty interesting. It's a recipe I got out of a magazine. In the original recipe, it requires some mixed spices such as rosemary and thyme. I don't have that, so I'm going to use parsley and minced dried onions. Okay, the ingredients we're going to need are 2 cans of white beans, we're going to need 2 plum tomatoes, diced, 2 cups of diced pork. I have that right here, and that is some pork that I cooked in some sauerkraut. It's left over, but that's what I'm going to use. Okay, and the recipe called for turkey kielbasa, but I just bought the regular smoked sausage. I need a cup and a half of that. We're going to need 1 cup of chopped kale. I'm going to need half a cup of chicken broth, and I'm going to use bouillon cubes for that. And then it also says half a cup of wine or marinade, but I'm just going to use half a cup of lemon juice. Okay, and then we need enough potatoes to go around the top of the casserole. So I just bought some sliced potatoes already in a can, 2 15-ounce cans. That's all of the ingredients. So it's beans, tomatoes, pork, smoked sausage, kale, chicken broth, lemon juice, parsley flakes, dried onion, and sliced potatoes. First thing I'm going to need, it looks like, is a can opener. And then you kind of mix everything together, put it in a 400-degree oven in a greased casserole dish, and you're supposed to cook it for about an hour. But since my meat is already cooked, it might not have to go that long. The instructions in the recipe, it didn't really have any instructions like to cook your pork first or to simmer your kale or anything like that. So I'm going to try to just put it together. I'm going to wing it and see how it goes. Okay, I'll be back. Okay. Open my white beans and drain and rinse them. These are called Great Northern beans. Okay, I'm going to go rinse these. Okay, I'm going to chop up my pork.
Younger than the last.
By George, I think he's got it.
Coincidence?
No. According to the computer, the odds on 6 violent deaths in a row, in sequence pattern, exceeds the raw.
More dazzling.
Well, Celeste and I checked them all out.
Before or after the...
I'm going to, before I put it in the casserole mix, I'm going to fry it up a little bit with the kale. I just think this will be better if it's browned up. Okay, set this over here. Clean this up. Chop up the Okay, I've washed these and taken the stems out because it's just supposed to be a cup of chopped leaves, so I didn't want to leave the sticks in there. Kind of dry them off a little bit, maybe. And chop them up. Simmer them a little bit. Well, not simmer, but fry them a little bit with this sausage after I chop them up a little. Chop up my tomatoes. I hear the sausage and kale. My chicken broth. I'm going to use a bouillon cube. Okay. Put my bouillon cube in there, and I'll just let that sit here while I'm getting the other stuff ready. I'm going to let that get warm on, get browned on the bottom, and then I'm going to take it out and put it in the casserole mix. Put it in my casserole dish, and this is how I'm going to grease it. Alright. So that's ready. After this chicken broth or bouillon broth gets ready, then I'm going to just go ahead and mix it with the spices that the recipe calls for. And I'm going to put the lemon juice in that with it too. That'll be it. Do that in a couple minutes. I'll take my half cup of chicken broth. And half a cup of lemon juice. Almost a half a cup. And then I'm going to take a teaspoon of dried minced onion. Mix it in with that. Teaspoon of parsley, dried parsley. Stir that up. Put this over here. Now I've got my pork and white bean mixture and my plum tomatoes. Now I'm going to put the kale leaves and sausage in. Now I'm going to add my bouillon, chicken broth, and spices. I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 400, or no, about 375. I'm using my glass pan and I don't want it to explode on me. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is open these potatoes, sliced potatoes, and rinse them off. Pour this in my casserole dish. Okay, now it's time to go around the dish with the potatoes.
She's far more optimistic than I am.
Alright. Now we're supposed to put a little spray on top of the potatoes, or oil, whatever you want to use. This is canola spray. But I'm going to put some paprika on top of those.
You know the hider's on a bummer, but he's consistent.
I really speak with his father. It's the correct birthday.
March 10th. Wait a minute.
What?
What's Norriston's exact birthday?
I don't know. It's in the files. Why?
Pepper.
They're both 25 years old. Maybe she's a few months older.
And maybe she's not.
Thanks, Cassoulet, will you?
And a little salt. Okay. Now we're going to cover it with foil and put it in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then we'll look at it when it gets done. Okay, it's been cooking for about a half an hour. So I'm going to take the foil off. I'm going to save that piece of foil off. And then I'm going to let it cook the second half hour with the foil off. And we'll be back. Okay, it's time to get our white bean and pork cassoulet out of the oven. It's been an hour. Ooh, and it's bubbly hot. Very, very bubbly hot. Okay? And that's how it looks. Looks pretty yummy to me. Definitely going to have to let that cool off before I dig into it. But it looks pretty good. Alright. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you guys give it a try.